The ballroom glittered with an almost magical aura, as if the very air was infused with stardust. Hundreds of twinkling lights illuminated the dancers below, casting a mesmerizing glow on their elegant costumes. The music, a symphony of classical and contemporary, filled the air, creating an atmosphere of enchantment and wonder. Tonight was the night of the Grand Masquerade Ball, an event that had been eagerly anticipated for months. The grand entrance was a spectacle in itself, with guests arriving in a parade of opulence and mystery. Guests came in all shapes and sizes, each one more extravagant than the last. The diversity of costumes was a testament to the creativity and imagination of the attendees. Mickey Mouse, dressed as a knight in shining armor, chatted cheerfully with other guests. His jovial demeanor and infectious laughter added to the festive spirit of the evening. Bugs Bunny, disguised as a waiter in a tuxedo, winked mischievously at the guests. His playful antics and quick wit made him a favorite among the crowd, always ready with a clever remark or a cheeky grin. Daffy Duck, sporting an eye patch and a pirate hat, grumbled in a corner. His gruff exterior and humorous complaints provided a comical contrast to the otherwise elegant affair. Tweety Bird, a tiny Roman emperor, perched on a high chair nibbling on birdseed. His regal costume and diminutive size made him an adorable and endearing sight, capturing the hearts of all who saw him. The night continued with laughter, music, and dance. The grand ballroom was alive with the sound of joy and celebration, as guests twirled and swayed to the rhythm of the music. It was a night to remember, a night where reality and fantasy intertwined in a beautiful dance of light and shadow. All eyes turned to the center of the room. There, on a velvet cushion, sparkled the star of the night, the legendary diamond eye. It shimmered under the lights, a magnificent gem said to be worth a king's ransom. "Magnificent, isn't it?" a deep voice boomed. It was Goofy, dressed as a king, admiring the diamond. His crown was slightly askew. The night whirled on. Music swelled, laughter echoed. Dancers twirled across the dance floor. Then, suddenly, the music stopped. A hush fell over the crowd. The lights flickered and died, plunging the ballroom into darkness. There were gasps and murmurs from the guests. Then, just as suddenly, the lights flickered back on. But something was wrong, terribly wrong. The diamond eye, the star of the night, was gone. "The diamond! It's gone!" shouted a frantic voice. It was Minnie Mouse, her face pale under her mask. The guests murmured amongst themselves, their faces a mixture of confusion and fear. Curiouser and curiouser. The night was young, and the air was thick with anticipation. The grand ballroom, adorned with glittering chandeliers and opulent decor, was the perfect setting for an evening of mystery and intrigue. A wave of confusion swept through the ballroom. Guests, dressed in their finest attire and hidden behind elaborate masks, exchanged puzzled glances. Whispers filled the air as they tried to make sense of the sudden commotion. Who could have taken the diamond eye? And how? The priceless jewel, once the centerpiece of the evening, had vanished without a trace. The empty display case stood as a stark reminder of the audacious theft. The guests, their masked faces reflecting a mix of worry and suspicion, looked at each other. Each one wondered if the thief was among them, hiding in plain sight. The atmosphere grew tense as the mystery deepened. Mickey Mouse, ever the hero, decided to take charge. With a determined look in his eyes, he stepped forward, ready to uncover the truth. His presence brought a glimmer of hope to the anxious crowd. He questioned the guests, his brow furrowed with concern. Each answer only seemed to deepen the mystery, but Mickey was undeterred. He knew that the key to solving the puzzle lay in the details. Bugs Bunny, munching on a carrot, observed the scene with a skeptical eye. He had seen his fair share of capers and wasn't easily convinced. As he watched Mickey's investigation unfold, he couldn't help but wonder if there was more to the story than met the eye. Red herring or smoking gun? Suspicions fell on everyone. Daffy Duck, known for his greed, stammered nervously when questioned. But Daffy, as it turned out, had been busy trying to steal cake from their buffet table. Tweety Bird, perched high above the crowd, chirped nervously, I saw the bad guy." But when pressed for details, all he could offer were frantic tweets and flutters. Unmasking the culprit. Finally, all eyes turned to the seemingly innocent Goofy. He stood alone, fiddling with his crown, a nervous smile on his face. Mickey Mouse, his eyes sharp, noticed something shiny caught in the lining of Goofy's oversized robe. "Goofy," Mickey Mouse said slowly, "what's that in your robe?" Goofy's eyes widened in alarm. He stammered, trying to explain, but the jig was up. Justice prevails. In the grand ballroom, the air was thick with anticipation and the soft murmur of conversations. The masquerade attendees, adorned in their finest attire, moved gracefully under the glittering chandeliers. With a sheepish grin, Goofy reached into his robe and pulled out the diamond eye. The room fell silent, all eyes fixated on the gleaming jewel in his hand. The tension was palpable as everyone wondered what had transpired. He explained that he hadn't meant to steal it, he just wanted to try it on. His voice trembled slightly as he recounted the events. He had been mesmerized by the diamond's beauty and in a moment of weakness had taken it to admire it more closely. The lights going out and everyone's alarm had frightened him, leading him to panic and hide the jewel. The sudden darkness had caused chaos, and in his fear he had acted impulsively. The guests, initially alarmed, began to understand his predicament. Relief washed over the ballroom. The tension that had gripped the room slowly dissipated as the guests realized that the diamond was safe and that Goofy had no malicious intent. The diamond eye was safe. Its brilliance once again illuminated the room, casting a magical glow that seemed to restore the festive spirit. And so the Grand Masquerade Ball continued, the earlier tension replaced with relief and renewed merriment. Laughter and music filled the air as the guests resumed their celebrations. The music resumed, the guests returned to their revelry, their movements more spirited and joyous than before. The musicians played with renewed vigor, their melodies weaving through the crowd, and the legendary Diamond Eye once again became the center of admiration, though this time under the watchful eyes of everyone present. The jewel, now a symbol of the night's adventure, was admired by all, its beauty a reminder of the evening's unexpected turn of events. The guests, now more vigilant, ensured that the diamond remained in its rightful place, a testament to the night's resolution and the justice that had prevailed.